APIA Leichhardt.
Manly United would like to thank the following businesses for their support for the 2026 season. Community Bank Freshwater, Brown Brothers Skip Bins, Manly Marina Football Association, Ray White Team Nemo, Brookvale Mazda, Loma, DYRSL, Lions Sport Travel, Bing Lee Galgala and Monovan, JB Metropolitan, CMS Surveyors, Auto Body Smash Repairs, The Athletes Group, Roman Oil and Warrior Square, Black Label Developments, Benedict Recycling, Ludor Science, Northern Beaches Marine, Vine Apparel, Loomis Imaging, Metronics, Riggs Brookvale, Grill DY, and Best Team. And don't forget to head to the content behind Melbourne Gold for tea, coffee, cold drink, snacks, hot food, and one of Promo Park's world famous chicken schnitzel rolls. And if you're after a meal or a drink, the licence club at the Far Coast is open at 12 midday every Saturday and Sunday on the eastern side of the field.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're just waiting for the lineup to be confirmed for APIA Leichhardt, but in the meantime, we can give you the lineup for your Manly United FC. Number 1, Jodie Drever. Number 2, Phoebe Gilbane. Number 3, Grace Arnold. Number 4, Emma Bates. Number 6, and your captain, Ruby Jackson. Number 7, Chloe O'Brien. Number 9, Emily Minette. Number 11, Lucy Richards. Number 20, Ellie Kerr. Number 37, Kayla Osborne. And number 38, Sienna Dale. Out on the bench, number 12, Brinley Jensel. Number 14, Gemma Sweetner. Number 19, Hallie Smith. Number 21, India Horsley. Number 26, Sarah Whelan. And number 31, Chelsea McCready. That is the lineup for Manly United in first grade of NPL New South Wales Women's. The APIA Leichhardt lineup comes to you, hopefully, very shortly.
3, NPL Women's New South Wales Round 17. From Cromer Park, Manly United versus APIA Leichhardt. Well, good afternoon, NPL Women's New South Wales fans. Thanks for joining us here on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. Round 17 action here. And the girls from Lambert Park, APIA Leichhardt, their latest adventure in this competition, takes them to the Northern Beaches where they face Manly United. It's Eric Subihano with the commentary. As you can see, action is already underway with an early cross from APIA's Jordan Jasnos. And perhaps for the less familiar with this competition, well, the jersey colours will look, or should be, a little bit easier to figure out. Usual kits for both. The, what we call that, royal blue for Manly, and the Maroon Azzurri, or the maroon and light blue for APIA Leichhardt. I will take you through the appropriate, to both starting lineups at the appropriate break and play. And I can say, as APIA for another 3-point haul to maintain pressure on the three teams above them in the league, those being UNSW, the Bulls, and the Wanderers Academy. By the way, the kids in red and black having a great season. And it's been a good, fast-paced tempo, and glad to see that the rain, which has been quite heavy in this part of the world at points in the last 2 hours, has eased off just in time for the start of first grade. And we can report in the under-23s game before this one, it was great success for the team from the Inner West, a 3-0 win for APIA in under-23s, and their first grade counterparts hoping they can repeat that feat. As a result yesterday, actually I believe there's one full-time result, and that was the game from yesterday. We'll go through all of that in a moment, but there's an early ball caught by Sophie Johnston, APIA keeper, and that might be the cue to go through at least the APIA starting lineup. So for the visitors, in goal is number 1, Sophie Johnston. We've got number 4, Tash Pryor. Number 5 is Maya Lobo. Number 7, Talia Kapatanelis. Number 10, Susan Fongsongkam. Number 11, the captain, is Ashley Letta. Number 13, Jordan Jasnos. Number 14, Mia Golding. Number 16, Estelle Fregale. Number 18, Sophie Hoban. And number 38 is Alyssa Rose. Starting lineup for the hosts. In goal, number 1 is Jodie Draver. Number 2, Phoebe Gilbane. Number 3, Grace Arnold. Number 4, Emma Bates. Number 6, the captain, Ruby Jackson. Number 7, Chloe O'Brien. Number 9, Emily Minette. Number 11, Lucy Richards. Number 20, just passing ball there, is Ellie Kerr. Number 37, Kayla Osborne. And number 38 is Sienna Dale. Lineup benches to come possibly a bit later on here, but it's opening up as APIA down the right side. And the ball moving back to the left. Room for Kapatanelis. Crosses in, and the letter was lurking, but it's defended well, I think, by Bates. Good zip on that cross from Italia Kapatanelis. By the way, can't forget the 13, the match officials. In the center with the whistle is Ivica Kovic. Assistant closest to us here in the grandstand is Isaac Riggs. The assistant on the far side is Hannah Pola. And I think as I continue a on-running reference that, as far as I can tell, is only done in my commentary, a lot of you will know the grandstand we are broadcasting from. As a Lucas Neal stand, I have decided, and this is entirely my own decision, that when it's a women's football game here, it should be known as the Remy Simpson stand. Thus, that is what I will be calling this particular grandstand for the rest of the game. As Jasnos, and the Jordan was too fast for Ellie Kerr, and in fact, foul committed by Ellie Kerr. Let's go through the 2 sets of substitutes. 6 on the bench for the host. Chelsea McCready is the backup keeper. They also have former APIA player Brinley Gentle, as well as Gemma Sweetnam, Hallie Smith, India Horsley, and Sarah Whelan. On APIA's bench, the backup keeper is Paige Cuthill. The other players we may see later on, Charlotte Lancaster, Mona Walker, Jamie Bofils, Imogen Lane, Christina Kachich, and Estella Cameron. And 2 coaches now with a lot of experience as NPL women's first grade coaches, Tom Hopley for the hosts and Brad Attard. The man some people call the Maltese mastermind of NPL women's, Brad Attard, taking charge and in the dugout for APIA Leichhardt. So, Golding with the throw. And that was Hoban shrugging off a challenge, but attempted pass forward was dealt with by Manly. Draver under a lot of pressure. So good intensity with which to start this game from both teams. Room for Osborne and over the top. Minette chasing. So is her... I reckon she's a former teammate Tash Pryor. Yes, definitely. Minette and Pryor, their paths would have crossed in the Manly United senior setup at some point in the last decade, I'm sure. Jasnos with the back pass. Zinged, and a good first touch from Rose. Now Pryor, and back to Johnston once again. But as I try and recall, results of completed games. We'll have to flick through the Football New South Wales YouTube channel at some point to see or to look at completed results from the 2:50 p.m. game we had today and the 3 p.m. game we had as well, as APIA continue to pass it around the back with Fregale, who has eyes up and gets forward to Rose, pressured by Osborne. But yes, yesterday at the ground lovingly known as the Arctic Circle, as Minette will try and cushion it for Dale. Good tackle from Lobo. And that will be prizable. But yes, yesterday at the Arctic Circle, it was Spirit FC after, can I just say, not very good first half performance, but they turned it around in the second half, and Spirit FC defeating their neighbours, Northern Tigers, by 2-1. The goals from Lara Gooch and Sky Halmarik. Wow, what a shock. Sky Halmarik scoring for Spirit. Intercepted by Golding. Now, Rose, I think it was. And then sort of cleaned up by Jasnos Fongsong Cam. And now Kerr, good intensity and nice back heel as well, finding Osborne as the player in space. Now it's across to Dale. Touch goes backwards under pressure from Fregale. Long range shot from Jackson, and Ruby Jackson has scored. So it's a spectacular goal to open the scoring for the hosts. Their captain, Ruby Jackson, from long range, smacked one in off the underside of the crossbar. And we did not have to wait long, just a shade over 7 minutes for the first goal of the game.
Goal to Manly United. She absolutely said no one, ladies and gentlemen, from your captain, number 6, Ruby Jackson. Manly United 1, APIA Leichhardt 0.
Yeah, there we go. So, all action from Ruby Jackson. And that is her third goal of the league season. Letter, tracked by Bates. Overlapping run, I think that's Golding with the cross. And skims the roof of the net. So, decent enough response after going behind from APIA, but Golding not quite getting, I think, the whip she wanted on that cross.
Slight correction. Illawarra and Gladesville in at 3 minutes.
The Bulls game still going?
No, it's full time. Bulls 1-0.
So as Manly play short from the back, Letta applying the pressure. Draver, little bobbly pass out to Bates. And now a good turn from O'Brien. Here's Osborne. Kerr, the wide option, wanted the ball. Osborne keeps it central. Jackson couldn't quite stretch the leg out enough, but Minette keeps it going. Here's Kerr. Now Kerr, one-on-one against Pryor. Laid it off. Minette could shoot. Blocked by, I think, Rose. Manly look up for this early on. O'Brien. And O'Brien. Diag blocked. Now Gilbane have a go. Quick 1-2, and then just a hand up an apology from Kerr, I think it was. It was the right idea, because Gilbane was open for the return ball. Barn might have beaten Richards to the ball. Into the box, but marked by 2. There is support. One of them is Rose. And the ball just bounced away from Rose. Capitanellis wins the 50-50 to keep it alive. Into the box. Sliding tackle from Gilbane leads to the first corner of the game. And courtesy of my big ears, I will double check this, but I've heard conversation in the Remy Simpson stand. Full time at Northbridge Oval in the 2:50 p.m. kickoff. The top of the table clash there. A 1-0 win to Bulls FC Academy, and Amber had the answer for the hosts at Northbridge. Amber Lookmeyer's second half strike appears to have given the Bulls all 3 points. That'll help them close the gap to the league leaders UNSW. That would also be their first defeat of the season for the students. Good corner. A good defensive header to match. Kerr was the first player forward, but can't make it stick. And now a quick feed from Golding. Back out to the corner, that corner taker, who was Susan Fong Song Ken. Across. Rose. Well, not much room, and the ball did go out. So Manly getting the touch. Oh, sorry, other way around. APIA getting the touch off the host for a second corner in fairly quick succession. Apologies if I go quiet for a bit. I've had trouble getting my hotspot sorted so I can watch the stream on the fly. I'll get back to that as this corner comes in. Decent ball. Good header away for a minute. Fong So Cam pressured immediately. Potential for a counter-attack. And Dale, pretty fast, but so is Jasnos. Jasnos matches her. Plays it into the fence. That should allow APIA to set themselves defensively. Pressure here, and forward from Pryor. That header, I think, from Richards. Fragale. Now Lobo and Jasnos. Progress stopped by Kerr. Instructions being yelled from the APIA technical area. Lobo, Jasnos, who wants to get forward as often as she can, keeps it moving to Capitanellis. That was met by Arnold, but Capitanellis doing well to keep the ball under pressure. Speaking of under pressure, that's good work from Fragale. Little drop of the shoulder to beat or to get away from two players. Capitanellis just to dink one forward, and more defending from Kerr. That's going to be a fascinating battle for, well, as long as those two are direct opponents. Two speedsters on the flank. Kerr against Jasnos. Lobo. Now, Osborne was stepping in. Up here trying the other side. Manly making sure there's plenty of blue jerseys in the way. Lobo, a bit more of an ambitious pass, which Gilbane sends away. Now Jasnos with the throw. Hoban double marked very quickly. And then a little bit of off-balance clearance. So, but plenty of, how can I put this? Plenty of fire in this midfield tussle so far. How much have we had? About a quarter of an hour. If you've just joined us, it is Manly leading APIA Leichhardt by a goal to nil, courtesy of a long-range strike from Ruby Jackson. Now Dale is quick enough to beat the maroon jerseys to the ball, and Dale is in the box. Sienna Dale, little dink, and who's it off last? Goal kick, yeah. And those calling the corner hours. Actually, hang on. What's the decision? Yes. Okay, we got there in the end. So Manly's first corner of the game. Okay, so potential for the short option. That's where we go on the little wraparound run. Could be a shot on here. It is, and it sails wide of the target. Jackson jumping, players try to locate the ball. One of them is Dale, and Jasnos felt like she couldn't shepherd that out. Forward from Pryor. Can Manly win it high? They have. Here's Gilbane. Now, it's good quick passing. Gilbane looking for the play in the middle. It was Minette, and to keep it alive, but that's going to get away from O'Brien. Again, Manly stopped well. They call that a commentator's curse because APIA have won it back. And there's 4 forward in this attack. Fong Song Camp assessing the options. Goes right to Hoban, crossing the potential here. Oh, she might shoot. But in the end, the blue jerseys do just enough. Last-ditch defending there from the hosts. Trying to protect their 1-goal lead. Frigale. It's headed away. O'Brien. And now Osborne. Looping it forward, and Minette with the hold-up play as they look to release Dale. Cuts inside. Dale kept it away from free players, and O'Brien from way out cannot repeat the earlier feat of her midfield partner, or one of her midfield partners, Ruby Jackson. That's out for a goal kick. Jasnos down the line looking for Leder, and Arnold got the jump well, but also used the arm. And I suppose if you were ever going to try and get away with the handball, perhaps right in front of the other team's bench is not the best position with which to do so. Anyway, not that it's so much of a dangerous position. And we're back underway. Golden, good footwork. Now the wide option I think is Fong Song Cam. Golding runs beyond. Fong Song Cam keeping it away from Richards. Fong Song Cam somehow gets it through to Frigale. Now Frigale, chance, and Capetinellis couldn't wrap her right foot around it, and it's one of those things when it comes on a player's less preferred foot. If that had been on Pali Capetinellis' left foot, pretty decent chance of her adding to her 7-goal tally for the league season. So finally loaded up her stream. At my age with technology, it took me long enough, about 20 minutes or so, but I have spotted the full-time score down at Lakelands Over in Oval in Dapto, where coincidentally I will be going next week for commentary. But in Dapto, 3 goals and 3 points for the Stingrays. They'll be tickled pink with that result, a victory over the Ravens. And actually courtesy of wonderful work done on the NPL New South Wales social media channels. I do believe one of the Stingray goals scored by Bronte True, and the other one scored by Sophia Christopherson, a player who once died in an A-League game to get Riley Foster sent off. But that's another story. Yes. If you can, maybe from your effects mic, you will probably be able to tell that there's a fair bit of APIA support here, and it's good to see and hear support from both sides. As Golding taking a little bit of time to get up, but looks to be moving okay, and good to see. So, actually, some APIA spectator. I'll go back to that. Forward as does it open up for the switch to the left. Tapanellis gets a flick on. Gilbane's got the best position here. Does she Shepherd? Doesn't take the risk. And did she get the touch as well? Good work from Gilbane, getting the touch off Jasnos for a throw-in. And the mention, an APIA spectator after that most recent free kick mentioned rugby league. That does, which reminds me, happy belated birthday to Roosters and New South Wales winger Jamie Frezard. I hope Jamie's having a wonderful weekend. Yeah. Golding. And Richards got the jump. And now Richards racing away down the far side. But she also exceeded field limits there and took the ball over the sideline. In the distance. I think in the distance, I just heard a kookaburra. Oh, it's like being at the Arctic Circle. It's also really cold here, just like the Arctic Circle. Anyway, APIA on the move, and then a heavy touch allows Bates to slam it forward. Minette, yeah, she got back on side in time. And Manly, well, they try to keep it going, but good high pressure. Fong Song Kam rides a challenge, strikes from range, and it's a safe hands. From Jodie Draver, so about midway through the first half here. And as I call from the Remy Simpson stand, I can tell you that it is 1-0 to Manly over APIA Leichhardt. A long-range goal from Ruby Jackson. You could say it was a real gem of a strike. Anyway, that's what separates the two sides. As great run from deep position. Osborne really making it difficult. Kale Osborne this time not winning the ball back. Now, Tash Pryor. A bit of a centre-back run here. Now, Pryor will keep it going and plenty of options. Keep it wide. I think that's Hoban in the wide position. Whipped in and then at the near post. Fielded by Draver. Getting there ahead of Capitanellis. Ball's allowed to run out of play. Manly throw in opposition territory. Now, RP get it back. Does it open up? Gilbane once again well positioned. She's going to need to be on her game today. Looks like Capitanellis will be her direct opponent more often than not. Gilbane. Bit of room for Jackson. Keeping it moving. One for Kerr to chase, and Fergale has read it well. And Fergale just rolling it coolly to Lorbo. and gets it back. Kerr continues to press. And Lobo taking on a player, finding Fragale. It might open up on the other side of the field. APIA now choosing the right, and Golding has overlapped. Few options in the middle for her. It's up and over Gilbane, but beyond Capitanelis as well. She'll still pick it up in a promising position, though. Whips it in. Might have taken a touch off. Gilbane headed up, and a couple of manly headers. Gilbane, 3 manly headers as well. Stooping to find Osborne, and then Osborne perhaps rushed that pass a little bit. Lobo. Now, again, they like trying to hit Capitanelis quickly, and indirectly they found Jasnos with Capitanelis as a wide option. Letta lurking in the middle. Whipped in and headed by Bates. Jasnos with a chance from a tight angle, which goes wide. Now, Jackson couldn't curl it into Kerr's path, and we'll have a throw-in. Foul conceded by Kerr. Decent first touch from Capitanelis. Gilbane kind of forces her backwards. Still wants to run at the fence anyway, and Capitanelis will have to settle for the throw. But, you know, APIA are keen to try this left-hand side, and with players like Jasnos and Capitanelis on that side, you could understand why, but Manly defending well on the grandstand side, it must be said. As that's brought down by Richards, and then we'll keep it going. Minette can turn now. Can she release Eliker? Yeah, Jasnos getting there just in time. Forward Grace. Grace Arnold, good first touch, and then Kerr can't keep the move going. So just curious to look at the live table. And the early result, Northbridge over, means UNSW stay on 42 points with Bulls FC Academy moving up to 40 points. That's going to be a fascinating title race. And no matter what happens, because, I mean, you never know, APIA Leichhardt entering this round on 34 points could yet join them, and they're trying to join Sophie Hoban in the front third here. Clips one to the edge of the box. Here's Letta. Actually, Letta. It's parried, and the rebound does not move too far away from Jodie Draver, so she can gather under not that much pressure. For what it's worth, Manly entered this round 7th on 22 points. There's Capitanelis. Past the other number 7, O'Brien. Curls one towards the back post, and it'll bat down. Good goalkeeping from Draver. And by the way, got to do this. I like to do this at least one per half. Keep an eye out on our social media channels at NPL NSW_official, and there's also the NPL New South Wales Facebook page for the Team of the Week. NPL Women's New South Wales Round 17. Anticipate that'll be released tomorrow, Monday afternoon. Comprised of 3, 2, 1 votes from the media as whipped in, and another catch for Draper. Now, shout out Brookvale Oval. That reminds me, NRLW season starts on Thursday. I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, go Roosters.
Someone wants a bit of football in his life.
Fifth foul in a row from the same player.
Okay. Now, that's also not 10 yards. Anyway, let's go on. Foxocam in swinger. Well, not really. And sails over everyone. So Manly survive that set piece. Okay.
I remember Beaver doing that to Jason Smith.
Okay, just had a look at the clock. So action, if it's not already underway at Valentine Sports Park, between the women of the Hills United, and Sydney Olympic will be shortly. And there's a header, which Letta will retrieve. 1-on-1 against Bates. Second defender is arriving, though, so Letta crosses, and good header from Gilbane to take it away from Captain Ellis, who was winding up with that left boot.
I know.
Throw in broken up by Arnold, and Kerr just, I think, has to get rid. That'll allow her team to step up. So, via the trusty Football New South Wales YouTube channel, of course. Thank you, everyone tuning in. Also, thank you to the multi-screening fam out there who may be watching multiple games. What I can say, it is currently... Oh, Brian's under pressure. But keeps it moving to Golding, but Golding forced backwards. Now Manly can really step up. But yes, goalless at Camperdown between Sydney University and the Rangers. Now Letta bounces on the loose touch, and then clean tackle from Arnold. Arnold to their left side, and that ball just getting away from Sienna Dale. They'll go back. It's Johnston. APIA having to start again. Let's check the stopwatch. 34th minute here. Handball possibly. Is it the decision, but yes, Manly leading up here by a 1-0. Courtesy of Ruby Jackson smacking one in off the underside of the crossbar from about 30 yards out. It has occurred to me. A name like Ruby Jackson, it's a shame she hasn't scored in the Sapphire Cup. Captain Ellis holds it and keeps it away from Gilbane. Clipped in, Fragale. Estelle Fragale, edge of the box. Across, here's Mia Golding. And Golding turns the defender. Herban. Now, finally, somebody pulls the trigger, and it is off target. Now, it gets, I think O'Brien might have got a slight touch here. then Minette can keep it going as now with there. Minette and Co are pressing. There's not a lot of room. They're trying to avoid the back pass. APIA Leichhardt. As Golding finding herself centrally. Now left to Jasnos. It's given away. Capetinellis. APIA in possession with Lobo. Pryor making a run down the right-hand side. Capetinellis wants the early ball. And Gilbane in close attendance to Capetinellis. Now it's zipped forward and does it break for Hobart? Yes, it does. 3 teammates with her. Through to Letta. Letta rides the challenge. Still Letta. Still going. Lays it off. Hobart side-footed. It's wide. th minute here. Manly leading APIA by a goal to nil. Quick restart, but perhaps Draver could have taken a bit more time on that as it's been given straight back, and a rare loose touch from Estelle Fragale there. Now this might open up for the host. Here's Osborne, now Kerr. Kerr, there are supporting runners. Kerr cuts inside. There's a lot of maroon, too much maroon for Ellie Kerr. Good tackle from Fong Song Cam. Getting back to do the defensive work. Now, Kerr prevents APIA. Sorry, my bad. Arnold prevents APIA. Breaking quickly, but then Arnold straight. Puts that straight towards Johnston. So, APIA had a lot of ball in this kind of area, but then Manly able to stand firm. As here's O'Brien prodding it forward. Minette as the supporting runs. Minette turns a couple of ways now. Gilbane overlapping from right back. First time ball, and it's the right idea. As Kerr made a good run, the ball just going beyond Ellie Kerr. And Johnston using the gloves. And APIA get it moving now. Jackson screening the back four, and a good pass it turns out to be towards Sienna Dale. Dale opts for the safer pass. Jackson will lob one in from deep. It's over Jasnos. Kerr is convinced that there was a touch, but it is a goal kick. So that's a nice move down the far side. And Hobart goes into the box, trying to shake off Bates. Bates watch the ball all the way. Clean tackle inside the box. And got the touch of Hobart as well. That is excellent defending from Emma Bates. Now, can Dale measure the pass? Kerr will. Well, Kerr's just pulled up because it was the right idea from Dale. Passes off target. Now, Jasnos and Capetinellis looking once more. Capitanellis is up, and the letter won't get on the end of that. So Draver waits to be pressed before using the gloves. Go. Strong win in the 50-50 from Herban. Just want it back for APIA. Capitanellis chasing, and oh, sorry, that's Jasnos. My apologies. It was Jasnos trying to retrieve the ball. She couldn't. Now Capitanellis dropped into left back while Jasnos was further forward, and Capitanellis unlucky not to make something of that. So it's a bit of room here, but not for long. There's great speed from Jordan there. And Lobo trying to run it out. And Jasnos, that will be what you might, a corner for Manly out of all that. So Emma Bates, left-footed centre-back, trotting over to the right side, presumably for some kind of in-swinger. Oh no, short corner, and the return ball under hit, but Bates just about gotten it back off Golding. Kerr on the turn and does deliver across. Lobo defends at the front post. Osborne, has she kept it alive? Osborne, and he finds Pryor his chance for a run out of the defence. Tash Pryor towards midfield. Herban. And then Fregale just gives it straight to Kerr. Looking through, and then it feels a little bit needs a couple of plays to take a deep breath at the moment as we approach half-time. Some of these passes slightly rushed, as there we go. Draver opts not to move out of the box for this one, and as a sorry, I just had well, that'll be a goal kick. I just realised someone who played in the game at Northbridge has just walked into the Remy Simpson stand here. There we go. O'Brien across halfway. Here's Dale. Runs at Golding. Cuts inside. Dale blocked by Golding. Good one-on-one defending. Here's Richards. O'Brien out to Dale, and Dale, we're going to let it run behind her, but does keep it in. Richards running beyond. Good run from Richards. Cuts it back. Was looking for Osborne. Good play from Manly. Now Dale swings it in and headed away. Now it's up a little bit up for grabs, and then Pryor beats Osborne to the loose ball. So what are we, 44th minute here? Well, we got APIA won it, as they got numbers here. Maybe not as many as 5 forward in this attack, and Foxocam shoots from range. Draver throws herself at the ball. Intercepted by Richards. And does make its way to Dale. Here's Dale. Wins the 50-50 against Golding. Dale stands one up, and that'll be Johnston's. A lull. It's going over the ground. Almost in first half stoppage time here. Is there one more chance before Ivicakovic blows for half-time? That'll be APIA throw, right in front of the Manly technical area. but move out of their own half. Short throw. Fongsakamp immediately pressed by 2. Looking for some help. Will settle for the throw. But this position, it's okay for the hosts. They're almost at the break. And the customary chance for both sides really, to regroup. Minette wins the foul off Lawball. How much time is left? Can't remember too many stoppages apart from the goal, so don't think we'll see much more time before the whistle. And that is a very, very cold breeze that reminds me of my workplace. Ooh, goodness. Might need to find my thermals at the half time. As Arnold sends it long, there's a header from Pryor. And whistle in the mouth, and there it is. So Manly United take a 1-0 lead into the dressing sheds. It was their captain, Ruby Jackson, that has put their team, or her team, into a 1-0 lead, courtesy of a spectacular long-range goal, but there's plenty of football still left to be played. Eric Subihano here with the commentary from the Remy Simpson stand. We'll take a short break, about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll be back for the second half.
Still with Head. Now for Tanae Morris. Back to Ellie Head. And the Tigers take the lead here at North Turramurra. Delivering towards back post. Swatted away by Grove. Jackson puts it back in, and then Gentle.
Lookmeyer into the 6-yard box. It's broken the hands of the keeper and followed in by Amber Lookmeyer. And an early goal for Bulls. They set the tone. Cash breaks away with the ball. Through the right for Gooch. Trying to cut inside here. Lara Gooch, left-footed shot is a pearler. What a good goal. And Lara Gooch equalises for Spirit. Finds the run of Valletta. Valletta onto her right side, hoping for Lookmeyer. And Lookmeyer squeezes it in. Persistence pays. And the golfing celebration, as has become. Waits in goal. It's Halmerick, and it's a good penalty. Goalkeeper out of the equation, stepping in the opposite direction. Advances to the edge of the box. It's Ella Abdul-Masih. What a good strike. Here's a chance for Phillips. Lays it off to Lookmeyer. This is for the hat-trick. And she's got it. And now Abdul-Masih. And the strike from Halmerick. Too much power. And it's burst through to put... Hunter with a sweeping cross. Barwick-Gray! Liz Barwick-Gray with a stoppage time equaliser for the ball.
From Lakeland's Oval, my name is Paletti. Absolute pleasure as UNSW looking to get an early chance here. Chloe Smith takes a shot and inside the opening minute. Middleton, Gerard, Adelaide Thompson having to spin and turn. Middleton takes a shot. It's gone through. Off a deflection there from some... Corner whipped in. Headed on target. Let's go, goal UNSW. Corner whipped in. Blocked on the line. Crosses the line. UNSW make it 3-1.
Letter threatening. Mifsud really stood firm there. Back towards Fonsong Cam. Fantastic. and vital to this team. Fragale, Letta, lovely ball and lovely finish. 2 to the good. Casa, brilliant work, and Bobbin! And Morgan Roberts into the air. It's a nice ball, Sanago. What a wonderful goal! Oh, turnover. This is trouble. Because off and away is Adams. And Camus does the rest. As I stumble my words, is off and away again. Oh, nice ball. Flags down. Camus. Goal. Now this could be danger. Allen into the area. Camus is free. Allen to Camus and taps it in. Oh, that's nearly stuck through. It has. And that's 5. And absolute perfection. Nothing Claire Holder could do about that.
Not there. That is the talent you have from Mary Stenich Floody. Long shot rebounding off the underside of the crossbar. Simultaneously, as Kashaba's just won this round and Inside is just going to tap that into the back of the net. Plus Inside, she's got Zamaya out to her right, and that's where she goes through to Alyssa Inside again. 2 goals in the second half. Natali up against Garrett, through to Inside. And just under the side of the crossbar, and that's gone in! There to Everin Tavares. Sayino looking to get the shot away, and there you go, Sayino with the second of her match.
In swinger. And it's a flying header, and it's in. And Olympic have drawn first blood. Whipped in, it's high, and it's a chance and it's a goal. And that one is definitely a goal scored by an Olympic player. Looks to be Baxter Thew, who rose highest. Beaten in 2 plays in the middle, goes for a tight shot from a tight angle, and now Casper Shorley, it's put over the line, I think by Poppy Tay. He'll get the credit. And moved right, long range effort from Witz, and it's flying in. What a strike from Morgan Witz to make it 3-1. She had facing a 2-goal deficit once more. Hijazi might even get a touch here. I think she will. The cutback opportunity, it's gone in. So there we go. It's 3-2. It's another own goal. And how about that for an impact sub? Noor Hijazi running in. There's the whistle. Away we go for the second half of proceedings here in Cromer. Manly 1, APIA 0. Eric Subihana with the commentary, and 45 fascinating minutes of football, plus a little bit more, about to unfold in front of us. And bad news for us here in the Remy Simpson stand. The weather has intensified during the halftime break, and speaking of intensification, here's Sienna Dale, blocked by Pryor in the short range back pass before Johnston gets rid. Time for the usual halftime ritual. Let's see if any halftime subs have been made. Don't mind me, I'm just scanning the faces and shirt numbers, which is a bit of a risk given how bad my eyesight is, but I'd say Manly have not made any substitutions at halftime. You know what, I'd say the girls from Lambert Park also unchanged, but they'll be hoping to change the scoreboard. Currently in favour of the hosts. Work back, and then Draver zings one to Richards. Now that one, Pryor has to chase, and Osborne having a good effort at things, but it's back to Johnston, and now Golding. Wants to run it out of defence. Golding back Pryor. Had Lorber, who's open out wide, but they keep it at the back, and at the very back with Johnston. So perhaps a reminder of the two sets of 11 players out there. In case you missed me run through this at the start of the game. By the way, if you think you heard a whistle in the very faint whistle in the distance, there is a Football New South Wales State Cup action on Field 2, which is kind of behind our filming position here in the Remy Simpson stand. Anyway, that Manly starting lineup, it's number 1, Jodie Draver in goal. At the back, number 11, Lucy Richards. Number 4, Emma Bates. Number 3, Grace Arnold. And number 2, Phoebe Gilbane. In midfield for the host, number 7, Chloe O'Brien. Number 6, tonight's goal scorer, Ruby Jackson. And number 37, Kayla Osborne. In attack is number 9, Emily Manette. Number 38, Sienna Dale. And number 20, Ellie Kerr. Hoban. Now, good ball. Here's Letta, and Letta zings one, and it zips off the wet synthetic turf wide of the post and also out of reach for, I think, Fong Song Kam was trying to make a late run towards that back stick. Anyway, Apia's lineup out there. In goal for them is number 1, Sophie Johnston. In defence, number 13, Jordan Jasnos. Number 4, Tash Pryor. Number 5, Maya Lobo. And number 14, Mia Golding. In midfield, number 16, Estelle Fragale. Number 38, Alyssa Rose, and number 10, Susan Fong Song Kam. In attack, number 11, Ashley Letta. Number 18, Sophie Hoban, and number 7, Talia Capatonellis. Draver decides to be a bit safer and just send it away. Header from Jasnos. Now Hoban trying to ease Richards off the ball, but she does play it forward, does Richards. Gives Pryor something to do. And they work a passing triangle. That's nice. Pryor, does she work it left? Yes, now they found Jasnos in space. So did hear updates on the PA at halftime. So currently, well, hold that thought, because Fragale's making the run from deeper. He's covered by Osborne. And then away. Oh, yeah. Back is Lobo, and Pryor near the centre circle, being pressed by, it's actually O'Brien who's leading the press. Now Jasnos under pressure. There's 3 blue shirts in the vicinity. She works it to Pryor. Hoban. Now that's out off Richards. Rose rides the challenge. Here's Breyer. Manly sitting quite deep. And the consequence of that, not a lot of room. And then APIA, in fact, have conceded the free kick. So this is Dale. Now running through the centre. That's Minette. The ball's taken a little bit out wide. Richards is there for company, though. Richards beats a challenge. Wants to cross. That's good work. And Richards let the ball go out of play before whipping it in. So for Manly, be pleased to be in front. Actually undefeated. Actually haven't lost a game since round 9. However, they haven't had quite a few draws in that time. 5 draws in their last 7 games, in addition to 2 wins. But certainly grateful for the winning position they find themselves in. Good trust from Minette, looking to release Kerr. Kerr does not get past Pryor. And then, again, another attempt to work the ball into the middle, stopped by Pryor. Yes. Now, if we look at the form for APIA coming into this game, having won 3 on the spin against Sydney Uni, against Hills United, and against MacArthur Rams, but a lot of work to be done if they are to keep that winning run going. But they do have plenty of attacking quality, as we've seen, and most notably Ashley Leder leading the Golden Boot race, although to be honest it's not much of a race. She's miles ahead of the player in second place, to be honest. But Leder, now Herban, keeps it moving. I think that's Rose, and now Golding supporting the attack as players gather in the middle. Rose. APIA stay patient. Fregali's up there as well, trying to make space off the ball. Ball stays with Rose, and now Herban a bit deeper. Price stepped up from the back line. Fongsongkham lets it run for Jasnos. Whips it in, and then caught by Draver. Looking at the APIA bench, players that would come on and get you a goal. I think the player some people call the Kiwi Katie McCabe, Charlotte Lancaster, would be the most notable option. Imogen Lane is also an attacker. Mona Walker's good for a few goals and more than a few good passes in every season. So there would be 3 of the more likely candidates, I would think, in my very amateur opinion, that would come on for APIA should the scoreline stay as it is for much longer. Jackson turns and plays it back to Draver. Draver just trundles one over to Bates, and she's got a bit of room. Minette holds down R2, and Minette pokes it forward. So here is Dale left side. Is an option in the middle. It's Osborne. Sienna Dale. Coolly defended by Rose at the expense of a corner kick. By the way, there's other APIA subs, because of course we might see subs soon. Who did I not mention? Jamie Bofils, Estella Cameron, Christina Kicic, and the backup keeper is Paige Cuthill. Short corner again from the host to the edge of the box. That's Osborne. And Osborne, decent enough hit, but Johnston saw it all the way and knew it was going wide. That's sad to say. My rather capricious computer has just decided it doesn't want to play anymore. So if I want to go around the grounds and check other streams, just got to do it on the phone. Presumably to the dismay of my mother, who already tells me I spend enough time on my phone as it is. It's for work, Mum. I promise. Tackle there from Dale. And the rain beginning to intensify. Now, Good win there from Kerr. And to her right, there's a potential passing option. I think Manette was offside. It won't matter because Johnston pressured as to gathers the ball and wants to lift the tempo with a quick throw to Rose. Subs for the home team off the bench and want to warm up. Warming up easier said than done in these temperatures. Good move from Hoban, and the ball, Fragale giving chase, Jackson's there as well, and slides, puts it out for a throw. Nothing comes of that for APIA. Osborne wants to run it away under heavy pressure from Hoban. Osborne looking for a blue jersey, finds a captain, and then Jackson moves it on to Richards. Just about keeps it in play. That's nice. And Dale very, very fast. Lobo was alert. Prevented forward progress. And by the way, approaching half-time. And by the way, Valentine Sports Park, 0-0 between the Women of the Hills and Sydney Olympic. That's with Ellie Kerr double marked. And then Capetanellis is quick enough to touch it away from Gilbane. Capetanellis will get on the end of this. Now it's time to put the foot to the floor. And what are her options like? Capetanellis met by Jackson. The maroon jerseys are coming, but so are the blue jerseys to defend. Backwards passing options on here. And there's a bit of room more centrally. Rose tries from range, and it's dipping, but not in time. Chris goes over the top of the net. And I looked at my phone at just the right time because I believe Sydney University have just scored to make it 3-0 in their game. 3-0 up against the Rangers. A spot kick from Asher Sutton. That's what that looks like. About an hour played in that one at Camperdown. And with this weather, don't envy those playing on a natural grass pitch. As the pressure is up, and then Bates scoops one so at least gets out of the box. But to be fair, at Camperdown, if it's cold, at least there's a licensed bar in the stand at Sydney Uni. So, you know, there's a few ways to keep warm for those spectators at Uni versus Rangers. Zing forward by Sienna Dale. That'll be out for a throw in APIA territory. Yes. Actually, this talk of food and beverage reminds me. I was encouraged to say this by spectators at the Arctic Circle yesterday for Spirit versus Tigers. They were so impressed by Spirit's hot chocolate, the offerings there. They said, give it a shout out in the next commentary gig. So I will. And I say, I could hardly disagree with them because I thoroughly enjoyed the hot chocolate I had a couple of hours before that conversation. Yes, if you're ever at the Arctic Circle for a Spirit or a Ravens game, thoroughly recommend the hot chocolate. And this has been the latest episode of Canteen Watch with Eric Subihano. Lena whips one in, but couldn't get her foot wrapped around it enough, so a goal kick. Good, solid defending from Emma Bates. Draver saw that Richards was the free player. Now the pressure arrives from Hoban, and Hoban, clean tackle, kept it in. Can APIA create a chance before Manly get properly set defensively? Hoban works one across in the box. Capetanellis, and good, strong two-handed save there from Draver. Actually, that reminds me, there's another save from Draver that sometime, was it last year, a year ago, that Jody Draver is a member of one of my favorite class of player, a player who has pre-game espressos. Thoroughly recommend a pre-game espresso. And can't go without my pre-game espresso in commentary, that's for sure. She joins the likes of Spirit forward Sky Halmarick. I've seen her with a little cup before a game. So the Spirit men's pair of Simon Nicholas and Corey Kavanagh, the APIA men's pair with Oliver Karlach and Joel Bertolicio, I think, as well. They've been spotted as being fellow espresso enthusiasts. Oh, by the way, shout out to Dean who's tuning in. He's the one that told me to shout out the Arctic Circle hot chocolate. So yeah, thank you. KPI is met. Manly throw on the far side. Now, bit of room on the right side for Manly. Here's Kerr. She will keep this in. Delivers the cross. Blocked by Pryor. Pryor retrieves the loose ball. In room centrally is Rose. Now Pryor becoming an extra midfielder, showing some adventure. Capetanellis. Here's Capetanellis, low cross, which Arnold doesn't clear, but Bates certainly does. Now can APIA keep the pressure on? Rose with another set of touches, strikes from range, and it's caught by Draver. So, before I forget, let's give a shout out to next weekend's fixtures in women's football that you can watch the same way you're watching this one on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. So Saturday, 4th of July, there's a 6:30 p.m. game at North Turramurra. So if it's Saturday down at North Turramurra and you're an experienced watcher of our streams, you know who's calling that one. Annabelle Banfield will be calling Tigers in their home game against UNSW. Then on Sunday, 5th of July, well, it's my turn as Manly try to play it out under pressure, and they do so. Sunday, 5th of July, it's my turn for the Dapto road trip. I will be at Lakelands Oval to call Illawarra Stingrays versus Sydney University. As that's through, and Minette is called offside, but yep, 3 p.m. in 7 days' time. I'm on the mic from the scaffold at Lakelands Oval for Stingrays versus Sydney Uni, and if the roster stays true, then it'll be Keely Shepherd on photography for Stingrays versus Sydney Uni. It's quite appropriate to have a photographer named Shepherd because that pitch is quite the paddock. Hope it plays better than it did last time I was there. Anyway, 3:10 p.m. Sunday, 5th of July at the Arctic Circle. The Ravens host the Wanderers. And then at 4:50 p.m. on Sunday, the 5th of July, it's APIA hosting Spirit FC at Lambert Park, by the way. The hot chocolate's great at Lambert Park as well. And at 5 p.m. on Sunday, 5th of July, it's the Rangers hosting Manly United at Hoppendetta Park. And a bonus shout out to the ghost of the Arctic Circle, Emily Arnold, who is rostered to call Rangers versus Manly. And then at 5:30 p.m. as Ellie Kerr goes on a run. Dale keeps it moving, and now it's Jackson looking for a second goal, but Johnson falls on the ball. But yeah, it's 5:30 p.m. Sunday, 5th of July. It's the Women of the Hills hosting MacArthur Rams at the Valentine Sports Park. 5:40 p.m. Sunday, 5th of July. It's Sydney Olympic versus Bulls FC Academy. That's meant to be next weekend's match of the round with William Constantinidis on commentary. And the Camden camera expert Angela Tipplebay doing photography for Olympic versus Bulls as well. Rose brings Jasnos into the play. Jasnos with the cross, and it's beyond everyone. Does it stay in? It will. Retrieved by Golding. And Golding, not the contact she wanted on the cross. So substitution time, and I see the Kiwi Katie McCabe. Charlotte Lancaster in the number 3 jersey for APIA Leichhardt, getting ready to come on.
Substitution for APIA Leichhardt. Coming onto the field is number 3, Charlotte Lancaster. And making away from the field, number 10, Susan Ponsonka.
Okay, there you go. Lancaster on for Fong Song Ham. Let's see. How will they reshuffle things? It appears to not be a straight swap, so I'm no round ball analyst, but I'll give it my best shot at figuring out what Brad Attard has cooked up. As Pryor looking to raise the pace here. Back heel. Here's Golding. And Pryor knew she was offside. Goal kick. Have they gone to 3 at the back? Possibly. I do apologize because I'm hardly the best person to figure out an in-game formation change. I mean, goodness knows I can barely count to 11 in the first place. So, give it my best shot. As Bates with the goal kick. Header from Golding. And then, it's Jackson. One swing of the left boot, and Dale gets the flick, but Rose, who appears to have dropped into a back 3, as the player sweeping up, and it gets the ball off Johnston about midway through the second half here. Manly 1, APIA Leichhardt 0. Ruby Jackson with the gem of a strike in the early exchanges to give Manly the lead. Now room for Hobart to turn and run. Plays it to Lancaster. Lancaster feeding one through. Letter was offside. Letter. Flag is up from Isaac Riggs, assistant on the near side. Wow. As I scroll, check out our wonderful social media during games. Oh, that is an excellent video from the SD Raiders Instagram account. And a premium goal and celebration from Abigail Bogue. SD Raiders scoring against, presumably, many goals against St George FC. Bates, bit of an awkward hop, but she can't find Richards. These are things. As Hobart holds off the challenge. These kinds of opportunities as Osborne has fouled Hobart. This is an opportunity for APIA to draw level. Capitanel as well. If there was one player who could put the ball in from here, Capitanel is her, as goes low instead. It does not get through the crowd. Is there a counter-attack opportunity on for Manly? Here's Kerr. Up against 2. Dale providing a run in beyond, and it was tracked by Rose. But then Kerr might have won it back and found a teammate. Now, well, O'Brien went left, perhaps right. Going right was the option instead, but it is a goal kick. Minette presses. Ball goes to the touchline. Lawball got the touch off Dale for a throw. And as they keep it moving, Richards heads it up in the air. There's Kerr. Kerr, and I think Minette was the target of that pass there. Intercepted. Now, I think Letter's onside here, but that's a necessary touch from Richards. Leder was lurking behind. Continuing to contemplate my 3-2-1 votes for this game as part of the voting for NPL Women's New South Wales Team of the Week. That'll be released Monday afternoon on our social media channels at NPL_NSW_official on Instagram as O'Brien shoots and Johnston gathers. That's all. There's also the NPL New South Wales Facebook page as the other way in which you can see the Team of the Week. Into, what is it, the final 20 minutes? Forgot to start my stopwatch for the second half. Rookie error there. But looking at the scoreboard clock, looks like 71 minutes on the clock with the Manly leading by a goal to nil. Richards gets past Golding. And then breaks for O'Brien. Now Jackson. Oh, great tackle from Lorber. Down the line, looking for Leder. It's gotten away from Leder, and Bates has a look. Looking for Draver, I think. Yep, that's where it goes. APIA will need to step up, and Leder will press, but Draver keeps the composure. Bates, nice ball to Minette, and then Minette trying to release Dale, and Dale, Loma's got to hurry, and Dale gets behind her, tight angle. Sienna Dale, it's deflected onto the post, might be a chance for Minette, and Minette hits the bar. It's still alive. Osborne, it's away. Well, how about that? Sienna Dale's pace almost proving deadly for APIA. She got in beyond. Her shot deflected onto the post, and Emily Minette also really unlucky. Now back the other way, and is that a corner off Arnold? Yes, that's the signal. We've got to make sure that Arnold and Capetanellis are okay first, but corner kick. While I see a spectator taking notes. They've got an A4 notebook. They've got more notes than I do. Maybe they should call the game instead. They look like they're more prepared. Anyway, corner comes in. Pryor almost gets a little bit of a touch, and just Dale it is with the defensive work. Golding with the throw, looking for Leder. Leder might have got goal side, clips it in. Now, open play here is Lancaster. Lancaster mishit shot, and Arnold has had enough of that. Now, Jasno's got to be quick, keeps it away from Minette. Golding. Hobart stayed on side to the byline. Lost her footing at the vital moment. And Dell's done well to keep it in play. 4 forward in this attack, but she's passed it into Frangale. And Frangale shakes off Osborne. Lancaster and Jasnos already overlapping. Lancaster, I think she's put that way too far in front of Jasnos. Arnold wants to shepherd, and Jasnos not letting her shepherd it out at the expense of a goal kick. And home team substitutions coming up. So I think I see Sarah Whelan getting ready to come on.
Substitution for your Manly United FC, making away from the fields, number 20, Ellie Kerr. And coming on the fields, number 26, Sarah Whelan.
So in case our mics didn't pick that up, it's Sarah Whelan in the 26 jersey. One off my favorite number, but anyway, Sarah Whelan replaces Ellie Kerr and looks to be a straight swap. Whelan heading to the right side of Manly's front three. Okay, by the way, I do have updates from Campertown, but I might as well update this game here first. As O'Brien only plays it to Jasnos, and Jasnos will go back to Johnston. And they try to squeeze the space, and APIA have found a way out now, and Pass blocked off by Jackson. Dale. She can hit them from rage. And Dale, it's unfortunate. We've all been there. Standing foot gave way. Rose trying to run it out. Still Rose. Finds Hoban, the pressure. And Hoban's turned past to Arnold, so it goes left. I think that's Lancaster. There are options for Lancaster. Whips it in. It's high. Over Letter. Not held by Draver, but she gets it at the second attempt. And right at the edge of the box. Good penalty box sense there from the Manly shot stopper. Oh, well, there's a goal zone. It's a... Oh, God, this is... I'm sorry for this joke. It's raining goals at Camperdown. It's now Sydney Uni 4, Rangers 2. 78th minute or thereabouts in that one. Meanwhile, actually do have more live updates as Mona Walker gets ready to come on for APIA. Golding, cutting inside. And for Gale. Lofted up, Letter was the target. Good header from Gilbane, and Minette will get this first. She had a look, wants the support, gets it from Whelan. And Josnos stopping play as Mona Walker continues to wait. Direct to Letter, gets the touch. Arnold and Letter take a tumble. Letter feeling, so let's see, got to stop that play just to make sure that Letter's okay. I think the whistle wasn't blown. I think Letter just more upset about the lack of a decision in terms of penalty than anything else, than any kind of injury. But keep an eye on Letter as Rose just plays it for safety. Meanwhile, this at League One women's action, the weather we've had today is not enough to extinguish the flame because South Coast Flame are leading Blacktown City by 3-1 at Landon Stadium, 68th minute there.
Substitution for APIA Leichhardt coming on to the field is number 6, to Ramona Walker.
So Lobo is the player replaced. So yes, just so... In case I might didn't pick that up, number 6 for APIA, Terera Moana Walker, more commonly known as Mona Walker, onto the field as Manly with the throw to Minette, threatening the APIA penalty area. And okay, I was wondering because Gilbane was winding up for the throw. Lancaster slapped the ball out of her hands, but wasn't delayed for the restart because it was APIA's ball. There we go. As Walker's first touch is a foul on Osborne. Still goalless between... keep this to yourself. My favourite team, Hills United and Sydney Olympic, early in the second half there. That's the secret between us. Now, Lancaster. Bombs one. Arnold is in the position to send it. And that will just be allowed to run over the far sideline. Now, decision. Richards defending is good enough to win the throw. Now, Gaznos could be under pressure. Has Whelan stolen it? She has. Sarah Whelan heading towards the box. It was a heavy touch. That allowed Johnston to gather. While Manly protest the lack of decision. APIA. Time's probably the enemy now. They want to get on with it, but won't happen with passes like that as Jackson clears. Rose to Lancaster.
Come on!
And then Arnold, not quite the distance on the clearance she wanted. Walker. Foul by Osborne. potentially big moment coming up if the delivery is right. 2 in the wall. It's to the near post, and Bates leaves it. Here's Letter, and Letter's missed. Delivery, like from the perspective of a defending team, a nightmare to defend in behind the defense, but with enough zip to make it difficult for the keeper to claim. Bates, I think, dragged a foot away from it, didn't want to concede an own goal. Golding from deep, and it takes a hop, but it's easy for Draver to gather. Now Dale resumes the one-on-one battle, and shoots. It goes wide. And there's good attentive defending. I think from Rose, who's shown a versatility, dropped into the back line as APIA chased this game. There's good patient defending there. Didn't lunge, didn't panic with Dale running at her. As, I thought it was going to be a giveaway. APIA have kept a hold of it. Now, it's over Gilbane, and Letter could be in behind. Draver hesitates. Here's Letter. Ashley Letter, blocked by Draver. Loose ball picked up by Lancaster, who goes from range. Charlotte Lancaster scores! It's a brilliant equaliser, and the substitute has made the difference. Late in the piece, a quick counter-attack, and Charlotte Lancaster with time on her left foot. It's another spectacular goal for the player they call the Kiwi, Katie McCabe. Left foot in from range, and it is Manly 1, APIA 1. Sienna Dale, by the way, possibly off frame. I think a quick energy gel. I think that's what it is, but hey, I'm no elite athlete. I don't know what that thing is, but Sienna Dale consuming some kind of substance. So one final push, because now it's definitely up for grabs here. And, well, I did say, in recent times, for Manly United, it's been more draws than an IKEA store, because they've drawn their last 4 games. They've drawn, in the league at least, there are cup wins. They've drawn 5 of their last 6 league games, and the scores are level once again in a game involving the team from the Northern Beaches. Actually, it's also 3 1-all draws in the last 4 weeks as well. Will it be 4 1-all draws in 5 weeks for Manly? We shall soon see. Anyways, time running's out. I suppose no time for a quick plug of the final for what I call the greatest cup competition in the world. The Sapphire Cup final. We know details. It's Wednesday, 15th of July, 7 p.m. kickoff at Valentine Sports Park, Football New South Wales headquarters. I'll put it out there. Wishing all the best to UNSW, their first ever Sapphire Cup final. I hope they win it. Yeah. Anyway, back to this game. Whipped in, headed away by Bates Hoban. Decent first touch, shoots, and it will not dip in time. Whelan helps it on. Move forward again by O'Brien. APIA trying to settle it as Dale brings the pressure. Oh, it's a good touch and turn from Fregale. So Arnold gets in the way. Oh, shout out to a friend of Football New South Wales women's coverage. Lockie's tuning in. Yes, I would say that goal was so good they should name an entire county in England after Charlotte Lancaster. Wait, hang on. Forget that. now. That's going to be intercepted, and Richards racing away down the near side. What are the options like in the middle? Dale went short, and the ball went beyond her. It's sent forward. Good header from Bates. Gilbane heads as well. Jackson now, good touch from Whelan, and now supporting run there is from O'Brien. Cross comes in, and Golding. I'll just give it. Oh no, God, my eyesight's terrible. Thought she'd given away for a moment, but that is, I think, Capitanellis. Forward, Leda, she and beyond her. The ball will get away from her and run away on the wet centre of the turf towards Draver. And Fragale has been pinged for a free kick. Another good game in midfield for Estelle Fragale. They do call her the Gennaro Gattuso of NPL New South Wales. Got to credit Nicola Posner for that nickname. That is one of the great nicknames in our competitions. The 8th minute here, 1-1 between Manly and APIA. Now Walker has space. Walker and can't find Lancaster. Yes, Ruby Jackson opened the scoring in the early moments. 10 minutes or so, something like that. Anyway, long range strike. APIA matching that. Laid on with their own long range strike, courtesy of Charlotte Lancaster. Golding under heavy pressure. Too heavy, according to the referee, Ivica. Free kick. Subs. Who's coming on? Jamie Bofils. Jamie Bofils replaces Estelle Fragale.
Substitution
So,
for APIA Leichhardt coming onto the field. Number 8, Jamie Bofils.
Oh, Bofils, if I'm correct, it's the French word for son-in-law. Is that relevant? Absolutely not, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Making away from the field is number 16, Estelle
Lancaster signals, delivers the free kick, it's high into the box, slammed away. Capitanellis to Hoban. Now Lancaster wants it on the left boot, swings it in, and Walker, I don't think, got a touch, and it bounces, and Draver will retrieve. Oh, APIA continuing to win the ball high. Price stands it up. It's a vital defensive header from a Manly perspective, courtesy of Gilbane. Bofils. Excellent diagonal, and can Lancaster retrieve this? She will just about. How's the support like? He just delivers it, curls in, and a little bobble, but enough done by Draver there. Great kick. I think that'll get to Sienna Dale. Bofils now providing the pressure, but Dale rides a challenge. Dale might go her own way, or does she pass? Clips it, it's behind Wheeler. Sienna Dale shoots, parried. Now, can Burnett get the rebound? She can't. Teammates bailing Johnston out by preventing a shot from the rebound after what was a very good save. Sharply struck shot from Sienna Dale. We're almost at the 90 minutes. And this league, which seems to have stoppage time drama every week, will we see it again? Minette swings it in. Definitely in stoppage time now. Oh, I won't mess around with the sign-off because...
Which is an indication, ladies and gentlemen, it'll be at least
hang on.
4 minutes of time added on.
Oh, there we go.
No, don't often get that.
Yeah. Thank you to Isaac Riggs signaling us the minimum of time added on to be added. So, we have at least 4 minutes more of this wonderful game. Bates, good curl on that one. It's allowed to bounce. Now who's there at the bounce of the ball? Isolated handball shouts. Captain Ellis kills it under pressure and let off. Anyway, so I was about to say, I won't hang around with the chat at the end of the game because I want to get back to my home in the Hillshire. Oh, that reminds me. Please stick around. At the conclusion of this game, you can watch the remainder of the 5:30 p.m. kickoff. The Women of the Hills versus Sydney Olympics, currently 0-0 with about a half an hour left, or a bit more, possibly a bit more in that context. Anyway, back to this game. Herban sends the cross into Bates. It is a corner kick. Now, as Lancaster wants to move across to take this corner, it's probably the right time to say that Charlotte Lancaster in 2 and a bit seasons has scored 3 goals direct from a corner kick for APIA Leichhardt. Hence the nickname, the Kiwi Katie McCabe. She signals, whips it in, and defensive header, but off Manly surely. Going to be another corner, and APIA, no time is of the essence. They've got 1 point now, trying to make it 3, trying to keep the pressure on the teams above them in the table. Cross swung in, Draver's up, and there's a header. It's off the post, and the check is in correctly, Lena. And APIA turned it round. Their captain with a stoppage time winner. It's a massive celebration, and APIA Leichhardt. I said this competition brings the drama seemingly every week. A set piece has done the damage. Might have been Walker with the initial header. Off the post. And who was quickest to the rebound? Who else but the leader in the Golden Boot race, Ashley Letter, with her 18th goal of the league season. Can you believe that? They didn't give up. They've been trailing for most of this game, APIA Leichhardt. They kept the pressure on. Of course, there's still work to be done. Of course, there'll probably be more than 4 minutes of time added on now, although that is at the discretion of the referee, of course. They've had at least 3 minutes of time added on. There we go. And yes, shout of piano from an APIA supporter. Yes. It's not a reference to the musical instrument, by the way. Piano, as piano being a reference to, I think, soft would be the, as that means in it, another meaning for that word in Italian. Telling him to keep it calm, but easier said than done. With so much on the line here, as that will run out for a goal kick, and Sophie Johnson will take as long a time with this goal kick as she's allowed to. One would suspect APIA definitely in full game management mode now. I've got to say, well, that is that, and APIA Leichhardt have done it in dramatic fashion. The girls from Lambert Park have won 2-1 against Manly United, but they made their fans wait. They made their fans sweat it out after Ruby Jackson scored in the early exchanges. Manly were leading for most of the contest, but Charlotte Lancaster scored a spectacular long-range equaliser in the final 10 minutes, and then, as we just saw, in stoppage time, Ashley Leder, their captain, with a finish from close range to make it 2-1, the final score. And can I just say, it's goal. There's 3 certainties in this life: death, taxes, and Ashley Leder scoring at Cromer Park. It is the 6th time in 7 visits that APIA's captain has scored on this very ground, and there can be few more valuable goals than a stoppage time winner to give APIA Leichhardt all 3 points. Oh, it's time to get out of here, and I've got to think about my 3-2-1 votes as well for the team of the week. There's one more game in progress. Hills United versus Sydney Olympic with about a half an hour left in that one, so switch over to that game at your leisure. But on behalf of Football New South Wales, our broadcast partner Sportscast, tonight's very patient camera operator Sophie, and the others who bring this wonderful coverage to you. This is Eric Subihano signing off from the Northern Beaches. The final score here is Manly United 1, APIA Leichhardt 2. I really want to get out of here. Good night. See you soon.
After that first game, I thought, no chance. That's a win for us. We can go home now. We're happy. It doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, we're happy. You have a chance to go further because you play Canada. Yes. Yeah. Oh, really? Come on. Ice hockey and that's it. You're in. That's good. Anyway, what a game. Oh, look. Save it again, Simon. That's only 2 months.